So I want to make more commentary about the saga with regard to the Iran conflict. So I think it's really obvious. I'm going to just state a bunch of obvious stuff. Iran is not going to let go of the Straits. That is their strategic leverage. And there's nothing that the Trump administration can do to open those straits short of military draft and a massive ground invasion of probably about 1 million troops, or at least over 100,000 troops. And even then, we're talking about regime change, so you'd have to occupy the entire country of Iran. That's not going to be easy at all. We're talking about a death toll, something on the order of like the Korean War. And aside from doing that, which there's a point I'll get to in a second here. Aside from doing that, Iran has control of the Straits and will have control of the Straits until probably a long list of concessions are going to be made on the part of the United States. So this is going to remain closed. Trump is not going to have an easy way out of this. I like Trump personally. This is sort of like what he gets for allowing a foreign country to dictate foreign policy. Now that brings me to my next point. I would not at all be surprised if there's a major terrorist attack on the United States relatively soon. And the reason why I say that is, and when I say this, it's possible because there are proxies of Iran that are terrorists, and yes, they could do a terrorist attack, but most likely it'll be orchestrated by the Mossad. Or at the very least, what could also happen is that something like that can be orchestrated and the intelligence agencies will take a step back and they'll just allow it to happen. That's a possibility too. And they're going to do a 9/11 style terrorist attack to whip up the American people to have a draft, to do a ground invasion of Iran so that we can fight Israel's war. So with all that said, another point that I want to make, if you're a fan of technology, you like phones, you like computing, I would get that right now, okay? Because those straits are not going to be open anytime soon, or if they do, it'll be the best case scenario. Okay, the best case scenario is that we're looking at a global energy-induced recession because some of the production in the Gulf has already been shuttered in and will be offline for at least a couple of months, at least. And that's assuming the conflict ends right now and that the straits will be open. Most likely this will go on for a while and more production will be shuttered in. And if it escalates, we're talking about bombing Kharg Island, they take out the oil infrastructure there, Iran retaliates and destroys the oil fields in, say, Saudi Arabia, we could be looking at an energy-induced depression. And that oil, a lot of that flows to East Asia. So you will not be getting a smartphone anytime soon because a lot of those that's a complicated set of supply chain steps. A lot of that is located in East Asia, and you start shutting factories down. Something like this that would normally cost $100, $200 will cost over $1,000. So get ready for that. Any other supplies that you need, I would stockpile them because we're looking at a catastrophe potentially on the order of like we saw in the Depression, almost 100 years ago. So things are going to get that bad. Right now, Israel, the country of Israel, feels like they're the big winner because they just got the United States to fight their war for them. Another big winner, believe it or not, is Russia. Russia gets to sell their oil at a premium, and people will look the other way with those sanctions. Okay, so now their markets open up, they're getting revenue back into their country, and so that's another big winner. Best case scenario, like I said, is that Trump makes a deal with Iran, makes major concessions with Iran. Iran agrees to open the straits and stops shooting, and then Trump can hail it as a, quote, victory. And then people can just go back to doing what they're doing and then hopefully weather the recession that we're about to have. So that's best case scenario.